But this is the question now that we'll eventually probably get to. But like, are you listening to Michael the same? Are you listening to R. Kelly the same? Are you listening to like?
Oh God! What I mean? Can we watch that too? Can we watch the R. Kelly shit?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
We probably got to talk. We got to unpack that.
I mean, everybody knows about the R. Kelly interview, but did you watch the one with the two girls?
I didn't see that. No.
Oh, I want to show you that shit. That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy.
But yeah, so like.
Yeah, okay. So,
are you thinking about like the music now? Like, are you literally playing Pretty Young Thing and thinking he's talking about a woman?
It's so easy to it's so
human
easy.
Nature?
It's so easy to cancel R. Kelly. And I told you this in the last video before we lost the footage, right? It's so easy to cancel R. Kelly because the only two songs that I really liked from R. Kelly was like Bump and Grind and Ignition Remix, right? Mostly Ignition. But I knew R. Kelly for a fact touched, sexually abused little girls because we got that video. But the thing is, it was so easy to cancel R. Kelly because like I only had 2 songs to cancel. It's fine. I would have lived.
Kelly for me,
Michael Jackson has my favorite song, "Rock with You," like the entire Off the Wall album.
But R. Kelly for
Remember the time.
R. Kelly for me was a good portion of college, and that's like linked with like good times.
Yeah.
For me. On top of that, there's the best of both worlds albums with R. Kelly and Jay-Z. That was real big. I Believe I Can Fly was a real popular song, obviously with Space Jam. Like R. Kelly does hold a special place in my heart. He wasn't like my go-to, I wasn't playing Bump and Grind when Shorties was coming through, but it could have been on the playlist because it was just that song that you knew what it was like at the end of the day. But now we're questioning with these real life allegations, we're now questioning whether or not like these songs are legitimate songs with adults or whether or not they're songs that were meant for their children lovers. Like that's how I think about it now. Like there's obviously these are artists and there's motives and there's inspiration behind art. And now that I know that Michael Jackson likes little boys and he's holding hands with them on television while being interviewed, like I'm not listening to Pretty Young Thing thinking he's talking about a pretty young female. Yeah. He's talking about a pretty young, and even if it was a pretty young female, like now that I know that he's lying. Now that I know that he likes young boys, like Pretty Young Thing is now like 7 to 10, like a Pretty Young Thing, like. Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'll have that conversation. I mean, because we're going into R. Kelly too, so we could tie that in there, of the whole sexual abuse thing, of the whole, can we cancel Michael's music and everything like that. And I mean, like, trust me, like, obviously, just like anybody else, I can't just wake up one day and be like, yeah, I'm just going to cancel all of Michael's music. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much I love Remember the Time? Do you know how much I love Beat It? Do you know how much I love Pretty Young Thing?
Think about the songs that you're saying right now. Remember the Time.
I know, yeah. I mean,
do you remember the time when we fall in love?
You
feel me? Like, you can't cancel Remember the Time. He's singing to a young boy.
Talking to Jimmy, man. Talking to Jimmy.
Right, talking to Wade. Ray, remember that time we used to fall in love? I used to tickle your booty hole and
do you know how to put the brightness
your booty hole on the edge of the freaking. What do you want to do?
Can you put the brightness up on this thing?
Oh,
try that. All right, I want to show you this. This shit's crazy too, bro. This shit's crazy. So this is the 2 girlfriends that are living with R. Kelly, and just listen to what they're saying, but then mainly listen to what Gayle says afterwards, which is the crazy part. Hopefully we're still recording. Yeah, we're still recording. Bitch.
Dynamic contrast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So while you fix that,
picture setup. Bitch.
No, I mean I feel like it should be good. It's fine. They can still see it. I think they can still see it. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, nice brightness. Put that bitch up. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Ooh, that's too much. Now it's foggy.
That was
all right. Perfect. No, yeah, perfect. Right. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's watch this.
Is back in jail this morning
Full screen.
for not paying his child support bills. He was
Let's
arrested
skip all this
yesterday
shit. Let's go right here.
After...
So this is her interviewing the 2 girlfriends by R. Kelly.
No.
None of you have any singing ambitions.
No. That's another lie. Yeah. That's another lie. Yeah. Trust me. No, we did not want to sing.
I did hear that you wanted to sing.
No,
that you wanted to sing.
So let me tell you something about singing, actually.
Okay.
Before I even met
She's about to go in.
I told my parents I did not want to sing. My parents made singing like a job for me. So it's not something I wanted to do. And not only that, I even tried to kill myself because I did not want to sing, as a cry out for help, to tell them this is not what I want to do with my life. This is not how I want to spend my life.
Yeah, your father told me that you had tried to take your life, and that the only thing that made you happy was
Just
singing.
watch how
No,
unstable she is. What's that?
Let me tell you something.
To help you.
No.
What's that?
She said something. The only thing that makes you happy was something.
Tried to take your life, and that the only thing that made you happy was singing.
No.
Because that's what her parents were saying.
With
Let me tell you
Kelly
something.
to help you.
No.
But there was like a video of her, like before, of her singing,
Of a job or
of her
career,
trying to
or
pursue
you
her
happy
singing career.
just doing
But
what
she
you're
said
doing?
that. Pause it real quick.
Honestly, I'm happy to.
She said that she did sing, but she didn't want to sing. Her parents made her sing, and it was to the point where she couldn't tell them she didn't want to do it until she tried to kill herself. So singing was something she did, but she didn't want to do it. It wasn't her passion, apparently. Yeah.
I'm doing. I haven't figured out what I want to do with my life, but I know when that time comes, we know Rob is going to support us regardless.
Right. Most definitely. He's our full support.
So all I can say is she's crazy unstable. You're about to see her lash out. She just sits there and agrees. That's all she does.
The Cook County Jail in Chicago, where R. Kelly is in custody, with the response from the
Fast forward.
Clary and
Yeah.
the Savage families.
Go
Jerika,
back.
good morning.
Yeah, it gets better.
Medical records, and according to those medical records with her then
Oh, that's it.
boyfriend,
All right.
she told them
I want to find that full video, bro. She lashes out and then she just starts crying. Like she was so just unbelievably unstable. I think this is it.
Interview you'll see only on CBS this morning. The two women told.
Oh, these bitches
Both
are
have our
crazy.
individual relationships with him, and we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not
Oh,
talking
you taking
about
to amusement
going
parks
to
too?
movies and sitting
Young
watching,
girl swag.
going to parks. I'm talking about is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually, well, first of
between the
all, I'm
three
not
of you?
here to talk about my personal
Whoop.
life,
Okay.
and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
That shit made me mad. I was like, why would you come at Gayle like that, yo?
No, you're
Next
right.
question.
No, you're right. I would not, but this is a very different circumstance.
It's
And
not
I
a
think
different
it's a fair
circumstance. There are
question.
people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all believe you're in love with him?
Absolutely.
Course.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Should your
That's
That's
parents
all.
be
This
concerned?
I don't even know why they interviewed the red one.
My
Like
parents
she just agrees.
knew where I've always been for 4 years. They have known. They know that I've been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azrael. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. I've talked to them.
I was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar.
She's
And
talking
a
about his dad- her
manipulative
dad.
Liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that
17?
indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was
No.
17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their
getting
daughter?
hand
Okay, so
jobs.
when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age.
Okay, here's
When I met
here's where it
him,
gets interesting.
He thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
She just caught herself in the lie right there. Okay, so first she says, Gayle's like, did you have any sexual relations? She's like, no, I never did, right? And then she goes, she lied about, her parents made her lie about being 18 when she was
Right.
really 17.
Right.
And her parents made her take sexual videos so that they could
entrap
blackmail him. Yeah, blackmail him later. But it's like, but you just said you never did
Wait,
anything
did she
sexual
say
with
that,
her.
or she just said?
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos
Yes.
with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly
But she
what
just
they're
caught
doing.
herself in a lie.
Jocelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money and
Your
they're
parents,
scamming.
you're saying the same as saying.
Well,
you're
both of
saying-
our parents. Both of our parents are basically out here. They're trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, with music or wherever it could be, and they're just very upset.
This is the first I'm hearing, to be honest with you.
That's a pretty bad
He's
right
the one you
there.
need to watch out
Pretty
for.
dang right there.
By Monday.
They both pretty, but damn.
Oh, here she starts
You're
crying.
trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe. I'm
She's
not.
talking about her parents.
After that, you're trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe. I'm not. I'm your child.
Exactly.
Yeah,
She,
you
I don't even
sound
know why
very
she's
angry with
interviewed.
your
Like,
parents.
ooh.
You sound very angry and very pained. Tell me, Azrael, why you're crying. Tell me.
I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth. You guys are believing some facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't
Oh
see
my
that
God.
you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells. Gossip
Exactly.
is what sells. Rumors
Exactly.
are what sells.
Exactly.
But Jocelyn and Azrael, this is more
All
than
right. The red one literally can't even think for herself. All right, so this is the really interesting part. Look at
I
this.
ever asking Kelly for money or receiving money from
Yo.
You know, as I
Did you watch this whole thing?
as I
Yeah,
was
this is
talking
the only
to
part
them,
that you need to
as
watch,
I
though.
had talked
After
to the
this is
father,
done,
they're
I'll
two
turn it
very
off.
different
Oh,
stories.
This is
Gayle
the creepy
King.
part. This is
God
the
bless
creepy
Gayle
part.
King, though. Let's talk about
Will
Gayle.
explode because he has a very different version of what these
This is the
young
creepy
men are
part.
saying.
Watch this.
And his team had told us that R. Kelly would not be in the room after the interview started. He was around the corner behind them. They couldn't see him. But at points during the conversation, he would cough very loudly like that, so they were aware that he was there.
He wanted them to know that he tried to stop the interview backstage a couple
Yeah,
times.
a couple of times. Laz, who was taking those amazing photos that you've seen, is my makeup artist.
Ain't that a...
Don't talk about that shit.
is Jocelyn's the red one, right?
Right.
And so maybe she was freaking out first of all because she was like, I don't even want to slip up and say the bullshit that Azrael,
mess up that
the
bag.
other one was saying. The other one fucked up. She already lied. Like
Yeah,
she already
she
caught
did.
herself in a lie.
How old are they?
Oh God. Oh no. Now they're like 22 and 23.
So
So they've been with him for like about 5 years now. 5-6
God
years.
damn.
Yeah,
So
That's
one,
That's
the
crazy.
the prefrontal lobe is not fully developed. That develops by the age
25.
of 25. So there's still a lot of growth that they have to do. Whether or not what the media is saying in regards to R. Kelly and what's really happening between them is actually true, we don't know. We don't know. We know about the accusations and the allegations and whatnot. Yeah. I haven't watched the R. Kelly documentary because I didn't have cable at the time. Now that I'm back on the grid, I do want to see it just to kind of hear what a lot of people are talking about. You know, there were a lot of people that were condoning him, a lot of people that weren't condoning him.
You're saying what? Watch the R. Kelly interview?
Right. No, the documentary.
Oh, the documentary.
The
yeah,
documentary,
yeah.
Surviving R. Kelly, I think it's called.
I have a site that you probably have to watch on your phone though, because it doesn't have the casting button. But I have a site that you could watch all of that stuff.
Well, I have I get A&E now because I got that Direct TV now. Shout out to my sister for that log. Hey. But my thing is that, like, you know, this is a conversation that needs to be had, and it probably needs to be had deeper with more people that have this experience. But there is something about Black women in these relationships that are less than typical.
Yeah.
Not to say that situation is that. We don't know what that situation is, honestly, because we're not there. We're not, you know, we don't spend time with these people.
Yeah.
But in regards to the abuse, you know, they have been saying that there's been underreporting, and a lot of the authorities choose not to pursue legal action when it comes to women of color that have received some sort of trauma from sexual or physical abuse. So there is a validity to that. So when she was crying, like, I kind of felt bad because, you know, she might not be in that type of a situation with R. Kelly. It truly may not be the case. But if she is, you know, she may not know that she's in it until she's out of it. It's like, you don't know you're in a storm until you get out of the storm.
Yeah.
People are like, oh shit, that shit was crazy. Damn, I didn't realize that. You know what I mean? So, like,
so it's kind of like the same thing with the Michael Jackson thing with the little kids. It's like they didn't realize there was
Right.
abuse until way
until
later
you get
on.
experience, because you don't have experience. You don't have anything to kind of like as a barometer of like, well, this is good because I used to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what that is, so it's hard for you to kind of really get a grasp on what's going on.
That goes to show that, like, so we had this conversation last time. That goes to show like how R. Kelly and Michael Jackson both are just grooming these kids because these girls were kids when they met. Right? Not even that, but like telling them like I love you, you love me, I'm gonna buy you stuff, do this for you, right?
Giving that support system.
Giving
What did
that
Michael Jackson
support.
say to he didn't want one of the boys to go to school because he wanted to take care of them. He's like, you don't need school.
Yeah.
You don't,
He was telling, I think he was telling Jimmy or Wade. But yeah, he was telling the mom like, no, you could tell him to come stay with me for a year. He doesn't have to go to school and all that stuff. Like I could take care of it.
Mom will let you up.
He's like,
bruh.
Exactly. But I mean, knowing Wade's mom though, like she was probably bored. Like if Michael gave her like $25 million, she would have probably done that.
I don't think she would have.
Scary.
She did say no when he offered. And, but Michael's like, I always get what I want.
Yeah.
I always get those little booty holes.
Yeah.
Nasty little
Which
Michael.
is crazy, man.
Whatever, bro.
But I mean, so that goes to show like how these guys are grooming. How Michael is grooming the parents leading up to the kids, and how R. Kelly's grooming these women at such a young age. Knowing that he probably doesn't know that they're underdeveloped and stuff like that.
We're talking about men grooming young women, but who are we not talking about though?
R. Kelly's sister?
Nope. No.
Well,
yeah, that's tough too. R. Kelly was sexually abused by his sister, who was a teenager at the time. So
by his sister, bro, his own sister.
Fucked up. Families are fucked up.
But
we're talking about R. Kelly. We're talking about Michael Jackson. These are men of color that were famous superstars in the singing industry. Who aren't we talking about that also like young girls? And was a
Elvis Presley? Boom. Leaving Graceland.
I don't like you. I remember I sent you the clip of Lisa Marie Presley talking about how Elvis used to she used to spend all night with Elvis, go home in the morning, go to school, come back after school, and go and sleep and lay in the bed with him, and he still sleep from partying the night before. She was 14, 14.
Yeah, she would literally go
freshman, sophomore in high school.
She was literally going to class, or she was going to school, and then she would come back at 2:30, and he would still be in bed.
Right.
Yeah. But he was keeping her up until whenever he would fall asleep.
Giving her pills too.
Yeah.
Pills. But nobody's having this conversation for whatever reason. Nobody's talking.
Well, he was. I mean, I'm not saying this to freaking justify it, but he was giving her sleeping pills because she was staying up so late.
Right.
To help her fall asleep.
Right.
But still, bro, 14 years old. Here, I got it all right here. So one of the lucky few who knew him was none other than his wife, Priscilla Presley, who Elvis met when he was 24 years old and she was only 14 in 1959. But she wrote a few memoirs, which is crazy. She wrote a couple books about all of this stuff.
We ain't talking about Elvis though. Is it because Elvis died in the 70s? But Michael Jackson, I mean, he didn't come to prominence. But I feel like if we're gonna have these conversations about Michael, we're gonna have these conversations about R. Kelly. I think we also need to have these conversations about Elvis Presley.
Maybe because Michael's had multiple court cases, so it's brought to the public, and Elvis wasn't caught in a way.
Well,
it was only Priscilla that was putting it all out,
and it's a different time too. Yeah. And I get that. We don't have the. How the media was in the 90s and the 2000s in comparisons to obviously the 60s to the 70s, completely different beasts. But it's worth a conversation, or at least it's worth just a look, just to make sure that we are dealing with everything on a fair playing ground. And that, people aren't feeling like persons of color are being looked at solely, and that we're also paying attention to all abusers.
Yeah.
Whether they are white, black, brown, polka dots, whatever, it's just, I didn't realize this until you had put this in our notes. I was like, oh, snap. And then we had initially recorded our podcast that ended up not uploading. But then on Twitter, I see the video of Lisa Marie Presley describing that day that she would spend with Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, the timing was it was impeccable.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, man. I just think that if anything, we have to just be diligent in raising our children and making sure the children are safe and not exposing them to adult-oriented things before that age.
I don't think so. Even Oprah said it, and after Neverland, right? She said it's not just Michael; it's bigger than Michael.
Right, exactly.
It's the whole concept and just the whole thing about child sexual abuse that we need to put out into the light and put out to the public for people to understand. And the crazy thing was, in After Neverland, the entire audience. All of them were sexually abused.
Right.
That's insane.
Yo, my dude,
me.
Anthony Edwards, Goose from Top Gun. That was my dude in Top Gun.
Crazy.
Obviously, it was everybody's dude in Top Gun. he was one of the guys in the audience, and when I saw that, I stopped. I was like, "Oh snap!" And he was just basically saying, he said this. Michael and Wade said, Wade and James said this. The older gentleman, they used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. They said that these people were people that they knew, and they were people that they looked up to, and they were mentors in some way, shape, or form. And the fact that that happened was. It was confusing for them. So like if it's confusing for age 7 to 14, imagine for like you know you a 22-year-old man or me a 36-year-old man, like damn, like what the, you know what I mean?
You know what it is? I think so. Even that was confusing to me at first, where I was like, damn, like why is it that, because like you just said, like the child sexual abuse thing is always from a family member, right? And I always wondered, I was like, how come it's never like a stranger? Because that would make a little bit more sense, right? But if you really think about it, it's not that often that kids are ever hanging out with strangers anyway, because their parents are super cautious about them being out.
That's true.
But
stranger danger.
But the parents are okay with them hanging out with their cousins or their sisters and their brothers and their uncles, right? And they don't it always starts off with them not realizing it's sexual abuse because they trust the uncle, they trust the sister, they trust the cousin, and they're being taught these things, or they're being taught or groomed and not knowing that they're being groomed, because they're like, oh, this is my cousin, this is my sister, this is my brother, this is all of that, right? Yeah.
Either Wade.
Oh,
Bend
God.
over. Spread it, Wade.
Oh,
Michael.
God.
Michael's trying to look at those booty holes. Michael, you nasty, Michael.
Oh, my God.
No, Michael, no booty hole for you. But
yo, Michael, stick to touching cats, bro. Stick to playing with cats. Oh God, oh my God, that's a great segment into Shane Dawson. All right, real quick.
Shane Dawson.
Real quick. Oh my God. All right, because I wanted to ask you about what is okay? Can you make me remember the Shane Dawson shit? Because let's talk about the hurt people, right? It's like, what is? My question is, why does R. Kelly feel the need to go after young girls? Why does Michael Jackson feel the need to go into young boys? Is he actually attracted? Like, is R. Kelly really attracted to young girls? Or is it a power construct where, because his sister abused him and he felt so powerless, he wanted to, make the roles reverse and feel like he wanted to be in power and be able to influence these girls. So he started off, touching, 14-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls, and stuff like that. And do you agree with that? Do you agree that because it's a power construct, he felt like because he felt like they were easily influenced.
Come here, girl. Sit on my lap. Let me sing to you.
Maybe
me gusta, senor.
maybe
them kids, R. Kelly.
Maybe R. Kelly was into all these the fetishes, and him going
this little girl like peeing on them too.
Yeah, like, and him going up to women his age would easily be like, "Are you crazy? Like, I'm not gonna let you do it." But then they're easily influenced. And R. Kelly was selling their dreams of like, hey, if you love me, do this with me and do all that. Like, I'll give you a singing career and stuff like that. So they were easily like, hell yeah. But if you go to a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old and you're like, hey, if you let me pee on you, I'll give you a singing career. They're like, fuck off. Like, I don't need this
give
shit.
Me 50 million and you could pee on me. You let somebody pee on you for 50 million?
I was thinking about that. I was thinking like in the perspective of a woman, all right. I would be like,
no, if you're a man and like a rich woman, say like Rihanna came to you, and was like, yo man, I give you 50 million if you let me urinate on you.
I feel like even Rihanna's piss would probably be the most elegant piss.
It'd be like gold. It
would be like just pissing gold on me. I'd be like, shit, $50 million? You really got $50 million? She's worth like $400 million because of Fenty.
So yes or no?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
All right, what about if she wanted to shit on you?
Oh, no.
Why?
I feel like me watching the 2 Girls 1 Cup shit at like the age of 16 traumatized me forever. You know what I mean? They were puking on that. Oh, God.
Oh my God! I just thought about that part. Oh,
you can pee on me, Rihanna.
I think I'm tired of talking about this, bro. This is exhausting, bro. It was exhausting watching. I had to watch the Neverland documentaries in 2 parts. I have to, we have so much stuff going on in the world. Kind of like what Oprah was saying. You just have to be mindful about the relationships that you form with people. whether it's in the community, in your family, but you also have to be mindful of their tendencies. You know, if there's some odd behavior within that family, it's your duty as a parent, or just as an individual that's aware, that's woke, to dig and find out what those odd behaviors are. I know what my odd behaviors are, and I know why my odd behaviors are. So because of that aspect of my personality and my knowledge of self, I want to know things about other people in that regards. Why is this person weird? Why is this person got that sleepy ass eye? Like, why is this person, always sucking their teeth when, you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's very interesting that like people are able to, they want to, they should want to dig, especially when it comes to their children. I have a niece, so obviously I'm very protective of her. And I would just
normally I would always be protective of my kids, right? If, when I have kids. Because like I'm protective of my sister, I'm definitely protective of my mom, my dad, all of that stuff. But like, this just, I didn't need these allegations or the R. Kelly and the Michael Jackson thing for me to be even more protective. It's like I was already protective, but this just scares the shit out of me. The abducted in plain sight shit scares the shit out of me.
I haven't seen it yet.
You know what I mean?
See it, yeah.
Just like it's just the grooming process. Just like now I'm just gonna be extra careful about where the hell my kids are going, where the hell
but like we kind of groom, like if you think about it, when we're dating women, like we groom them too, and they groom us. We kind of, it's the same thing. It's just, it seems a little bit more odd and peculiar because it's with younger people who are obviously much more influential, or it can be more easily influenced than say your 21-year-old girlfriend or my 30-something-year-old girlfriend, or your wife, or, your parents. You have to do a little bit more you have to do a little bit more legwork to groom adults as opposed to kids. Kids are naive and trusting in that way. And what makes them not naive, what gives them more than a lifetime of experience and distrusting of people, is this type of trauma and these type of relationships.
Yeah.
So that's just the reality of it.